22 minutes past 8, the time on this Wednesday. Now, you may remember, right at the start of the year, we spoke on this programme to Nat Severs, and on the 10th of January, Nat set off to walk the coastline of the UK, about 7,000 miles in all, and roughly now he's reached the halfway point, and he joins us live on the phone this evening from, I think I'm right in saying, Oban in Scotland. Is that right, Nat?
Yeah, that's right, Duncan, yeah.
So 3,500 miles, roughly, give and take a yard or two under your belt.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, are we on schedule to start with? I think you did tell me it was going to take you about a year or so to do this.
I'm actually almost 3 weeks ahead of schedule. So I'm hoping to be back sort of mid to late November now. So.
Right. So, adventures along the way to start with. I mean, let's just quickly talk about the weather. We did have some horrendous weather, actually, in January and February. How did that affect you?
It wasn't too bad. When I started, I had, obviously, a lot of people I knew that lived along the first sort of week or so. So that was when the weather was at its worst. So I had places to stay, so I wasn't camping yet then and stuff. But, yeah, I did have a few cold nights later on and stuff still, but yeah.
I can imagine, because I think you're using a combination of staying with friends where you have contacts, bed and breakfast in some cases, or camping in other cases. Is that right?
Yeah, basically. I'm camping now that I've got up here. I don't really know anyone, so I'm camping most of the time, but trying to get a hostel or B&B once a week to...
So how are the feet standing up to this? Because this is one of those sort of things that you can't really train for as such, can you?
No, not really. You just got to sort of get into it, and then doing it is really the training. So, yeah, the feet are holding up pretty well, actually. I'm quite pleased with I haven't had any major problems at all. So
adventures along the way. I can imagine a few things perhaps didn't go according to plan, or you had a few surprises somewhere.
Yeah. Since being in Scotland, there's been a lot less paths and stuff, and I've had quite a few hard days, sort of quite clambering over rocks and slipping and almost falling into the water and all sorts. But it's all part of the fun.
So you are literally sticking to the very edge of the coastline by the sounds of it.
As much as I can. Sometimes it's not possible, or it's too much of a risk really to try it. But yeah, I'm trying to stick to it as well as I can at the moment. So, yeah.
And do you discipline yourself, Nat? Do you decide, right, I'm going to start at 9 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and I will walk for X number of hours, or does it just, happen as it comes?
Yeah, I'm pretty rubbish at getting up in the morning, but once I actually do start, I'm trying to make myself do at least 8 hours. So trying to do it between 8 and 9, so I definitely get about 25 miles in each day, so that I can make some good headway, really.
That's quite gruelling, actually, 8 hours a day. And is that 5 days or 7 days?
7 days a week, yeah.
That really is quite a gruelling schedule, isn't it, really?
Yeah. You sort of get used to it, though. It sort of you just wake up and what you do.
Did you not get bored at times? Because, yes, I can imagine there's been some wonderful scenery and some marvellous sights and walks as you've been going on. But bearing in mind you started on the 10th of January, it's now the 9th of June. Day after day doing the same thing. It could easily get boring, surely.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Obviously some days you just, it doesn't really affect you and you have good days. But, yeah, others I just sort of, I basically just go into my own little world and wake up when I've finished the day sort of thing. Yeah, it can get pretty dull, especially on the roads. But, yeah.
And has there been a highlight for you at all?
Coming into, I've never been to Scotland before, and I was looking forward to seeing sea otters, and I've actually seen 3 so far. So every time I've seen one of them, it's just been been a major highlight. So. And
you've not sampled the haggis yet?
I have, yeah.
Oh, right. So a genuine Scottish haggis.
In Stamrar I got a Scottish breakfast, which had a haggis part of it. Don't know how genuine it was, but yeah, I think I prefer sausage.
So all you need now is the bagpipes, and you've got everything, it seems.
Yeah, they were playing actually earlier. I could hear them out the window, but yeah.
Now, if I remember rightly, when we spoke back in January, you said that you were going to take a very short break simply because it was your brother's wedding, and if you didn't turn up to that, it would be, a family feud going on.
Yeah, it'd be slightly rude of me.
So that's still on schedule, is it?
Yeah. Thankfully, because I'm getting ahead of schedule with the walk, I should hopefully be in a slightly better place to be able to get back down for it, instead of being in the middle of nowhere like I was going to be. But, yeah.
And if I remember rightly, again, I know you were, I think, supporting at least a couple of charities with the walk, weren't you?
Yeah. There's the Stroke Association and the Mammal Society, which is a British conservation charity. So.
And people can go onto your website and actually get details if they want to support you with that, can't they?
Yeah, on my website, which is natsebs.wordpress.com, you can see what I'm doing on there and the blogs that I update, and then there's also the links to the charity pages. So.
Right. Well, you may be interested to know, we had a lady actually on this programme a couple of times in the last month or so who's actually walked around the coastline of the southwest of Cornwall and across the Tamar Valley. And she comes from Jersey, and she came over and did that to raise money actually for a school in Uganda. And she was inspired by the fact that, one, she heard you with me when we did the first chat, and then secondly, she's been following your blog to see how you've been getting on, and that actually inspired her to do her walk. So you've been helping others along the way, perhaps without realising it.
Oh, wow, amazing. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, awesome.
So you're in Oban, so tell me, where does the trek take you from then on?
In a couple of days I should be coming into Fort William, and then I sort of get into the middle of nowhere in the West Highlands, and at the start of June I'll be getting onto the Isle of Skye with any luck.
Uh-huh.
And then, like I say, I think sort of mid to late August I should be getting to John O'Groats. So that's going to be the next big landmark.
I was going to say, that will be a milestone, really, won't it?
Yeah, majorly.
So you'll have a chance to compare that to Land's End?
Yeah, definitely.
Be quite interesting now. I've never been to John O'Groats, I have to say, but people tend to tell me that Land's End is much nicer, but then, you have to believe them, don't you? That's it. Now, we're going to have to leave it there for now, but let's make sure you contact us again towards the end of the walk, because obviously we'd like to see it through to its conclusion.
Yeah.
And we wish you continued success. Hopefully you don't get too bored then on the second half of this this jaunt. So another 3,500 miles to go and you've done it. And once again, remind me, if you would, of your website.
natsebs.wordpress.com.
Excellent. So we can get all the information there. Well, all success to you, Nat. Thanks ever so much once again for joining us.
All right, thanks, Duncan. Pleasure.
Thanks now. Bye.
All right, bye.
Duncan Warren.
BBC Radio Cornwall.